my mom made me go play golf on my birthday, and I was extremely mad. I was like, I just want to go to Chuck E. Cheese. And then I get over the ball and put my tee in the ground. I was like, oh boy, I can't feel my arms now. Certain level or however good you get, golf, you always want more.
Welcome to the Athletes in Sports podcast. We have a very special guest today, Carson Herron, professional golfer from Minnesota. Now, Carson, a lot of people know your dad, Tim Herron, and a lot of people know him from his nickname Lumpy. Mm-hmm. I got to ask, how did that nickname come to fruition? Do you know?
Yeah, I know the story. So basically, he was working at Woodhill Country Club. It's across the street from Wayzata, where he'd play. He was picking the range. That was his job. So the guys in the shop or whatever, they're like, oh, you don't have a nickname yet. And he's like, well, do I need a nickname? And they're like, yeah, go pick the range, and by the time you come back, we'll have a nickname for you. So he goes and gets all the balls at the range, picks the range, and they're like, oh, what's up, Lumpy? And that's how he got his nickname. And he's like, wow. I hate that nickname. But that's how he got it. So.
And how old was he when that happened?
I think he was probably 15.
15.
And it stuck with him still to this day?
Yeah, it's stuck. Yeah. Can't say he likes it, but that's just the way it is.
That is crazy. Yeah. Now, I heard from your speaking engagement earlier, people call you Lumpy Jr. Is that
yeah,
is that true?
Sometimes. It just depends on the group of guys I'm with, but some people call me that, yeah.
And you were Garson. Was that Garson?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, just because of the mishap on the bag. Yeah.
Can you share that story?
Yeah, so basically I was returning for my junior year at University of New Mexico, and we did get some new coaches. My previous coaches, my first 2 years, went to Mizzou. And then my new coaches one of them came in from University of Little Rock, Arkansas, and one of them just quit pro golf and had, come in to coach. And I think a mishap happened when they were giving the people the names to stitch on, and pretty much it went from Carson to Garson. And I'm like, well, that's not a C, that's a G. So that's pretty much what happened. And I as I said earlier, I got that silver Sharpie and tried to pencil out the G and just make it look like a C.
Oh my god!
So it was like a makeshift bag for a little bit, but
funny.
It was a funny story, and that's why some of my buddies will just say, "What's up, Gar?" back on that team, but they're the only ones that know. So.
Well, now we got the inside scoop, so watch out. We might call you Lumpy Jr. Garson.
Yeah.
Well, now, so growing up with a dad who was on the PGA Tour, like how was that, and especially for your golf career, like was he home a lot, or was he gone a lot? Were you playing with him, or did you just kind of fall in love watching him, or kind of
yeah? Like
how did that all work out as a dad that was playing on tour?
Yeah, I mean it was kind of different depending on the age. Like I just felt like as I grew up I was around him more, but when I was like 3, he was playing really good golf, so he wasn't home at all. And by the time I got to like 15, 13, we were starting. I mean, he was still playing a bunch, but we'd play a lot of golf and. At Wayzata, especially, and when he was home. So we play, almost every day or go practice every day. So it was really fun to grow up with him as like my mentor, and my dad just showing me the ropes. So.
How old were you when you picked up your first club? Do you remember?
Probably 2. I mean, Ping gave me a putter with my name on it and stuff. Just, and I'd whack a tennis ball around the yard with that, and just basically what every kid does, just hit that ball or do whatever. Not like and then, when I was 5 or 6, I remember they would make me go to the junior clinic, and it was on my birthday one day, and
When's your birthday?
July 24th,
Okay.
My mom made me go play golf on my birthday, and I was extremely mad. I was like, I just want to go to Chuck E. Cheese. So
don't want to go to Chuck E. Cheese, actually.
Not anymore.
Not anymore,
No.
But that's what was fun when you were like 5 or 6, you go play these games, and, so that's what they made me do. And, I used to hate golf then. So, but when I turned 10, that's when I really started to like it. So that's when it became fun for me. Ever since, when I picked up the club originally, I didn't really care. But then when I turned 10, started playing with my dad and do all this fun stuff. So I was like, let's keep playing.
And did you have siblings at all?
Yeah, I got 2 younger brothers. They're twins. They're 20.
Okay. So. And are they into golf too?
Yeah, they're really into it. They both play D2 down in Florida. One of them's at Rollins College and one of them's at Flagler College. So
they compete against each other then?
Yeah, they compete against each other. So, it's competitive. It's all competitive between me and my brothers and my dad, and talk a lot of crap. So
got a built-in foursome right there.
Yeah, we got a built-in foursome, and, it gets, it basically, my dad will be with one of them and I'll be with the other. And, once one of us wins, it's like, we're not going to let them hear the end of it.
So, okay, I want to go back to when you were 10. Like, what flipped the switch for you to love golf instead of dread going?
Yeah, so I went and watched my dad at the 2012 U.S. Open at Olympic Club. So that's pretty much what switched. I met Tiger Woods on the putting green, got his autograph. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Like, everyone knows this guy. And then Ricky Fowler is wearing his all orange. Everyone's trying to get his autograph, and then I somehow snagged it. And I met a bunch of these other, like, cool golfers like Vijay Singh, or got their autograph at least, and Padraig Harrington, just like guys that everyone looks up to as a golfer at least. So that flipped the switch. Just watching my dad hit cool shots and playing the U.S. Open, it was pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you play multiple sports growing up, or was kind of golf your main focus?
Yeah, I played multiple sports. I played kind of everything except like hockey and soccer, actually. I mean, I played basketball until like freshman year of high school or sophomore year, just recreationally. And then I played baseball too until like 5th grade, but my golf swing started messing up my baseball swing. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, I'm kind of done with it. I mean, I like pitching, I like playing first base, but if I'm not going to hit bombs to the outfield, it's like I just keep getting under it. So
that's what okay, so we have a 7-year-old, and he's a big golfer already too. Same thing, 2 years old, picked up a club and could just swing. That's all he wanted. Didn't play with cars, it was balls and sticks. And anyway, so he plays baseball and golf right now. And after he does go plays around with you, then the next day he has a baseball game, and his swing is just like he's either bombing it to the outfield or he's trying to switch
looks
it.
Like a 9-iron, weird baseball swing.
Oh, that's awesome. So tell me about, with your family being so competitive, what do holidays look like then? Are you guys into board games and stuff? Does it get super competitive, or do you kind of let that go off?
Yeah, we don't care as much about that, honestly. I mean, we got a pool table in our basement, so we'll play a bunch of that, and I'll just wax my brothers. At least try. And then, my mom wants us to play board games during the holidays, but we're like, no, we want to do sports and stuff. We don't really, not that interested in board games anymore. That's when we were in 4th grade.
Yeah. Does your mom play golf at all?
Yeah, she used to.
Okay.
But she just hasn't played in a while. She was she's like a mental therapist, and she's kind of taken the last 2 years off to just watch me and my brothers play golf. So it was really nice for her to do that, watch me finish up college and watch my brothers play college. But she's a therapist when she's working. So
really cool.
Yeah.
Hey listeners, we want to take a quick moment to tell you about the InSports Foundation. At InSports, we believe every kid deserves to play sports regardless of their financial situation. Our mission is to provide free camps, scholarships, and team sponsorships to reduce the cost of sports and get more kids in the game. Through sports, kids can learn valuable life lessons, stay active, and maintain their mental well-being. To support our mission and help give more kids a chance to play sports, visit insportsfoundation.org and consider making a donation today. Together, we can make a lasting impact.
Is the mental game for you in golf pretty important? I know some golfers just don't think about anything, and some have a very regiment mental routine before getting ready for a tournament and pressure situations. What's kind of your practice on the mental side of golf?
Yeah, I work with a mental performance coach, so it's the advice my mom gives me. It's probably good stuff, but it's not stuff that will maybe help me that much. So I've been working with a mental performance coach the last 2 years, and a lot of it is just really focusing on your processes and routine and disregarding the results, and that really helps you play better golf when you're not caring about actually your score, but rather just doing everything right in your order.
Can you give an example? Walk me through that, type of practice.
In when I'm practicing?
Yeah.
Okay, when I'm practicing, I mean, I usually go to the range and I'm doing a bunch of drills and stuff, but I'm not really rapid firing the balls and just hitting them with no purpose. I'm trying to feel something in my swing, or I'm visualizing a shot and saying okay, the right of this pin or the left of this pin's water, so I have to hit it this way or this way with this curve or whatever, and just preparing myself, because not every shot on the course is, obviously it's not easy, so you have to be harder on yourself when you're practicing. So I'll do more of that, and then I'll just try to be a little easier and move on the course if you get a bad shot, because bad shots happen. So
Right.
Yeah. So if you let's say you've got a 6-footer to win a tournament, like a high pressure situation, like what is going through your mind? Yeah. Getting ready to make that putt.
My mind will probably say, "Oh, you have to make this," but then I just say, "Well, I don't really have to make anything. It's just like that's just the instinct. Like you want to make it so badly, but I just say, okay, well, I have to disregard just making. We just have to make a good stroke and have a good process and do your routine. And once you hit it, you can't control anything because greens are imperfect surfaces. So, pretty much I just try to really get into my process and routine, and just try to disregard the result because it's so easy to get caught up and make or miss when putting or any situation. So
Yeah, that's so powerful.
yeah,
Just not you can take that into any part of your life, I feel like,
Yeah.
So very cool.
Yeah. Have you had any point in your golf career where like things were just not going well and you're like almost to the verge of like, why am I playing this game?
Yeah.
I think every golfer gets to a point where like, what am I doing out here? But there's something that kind of gets you through, and it's a great resilience builder, the game of golf. Is there something that sticks in your mind of a key moment that you pushed through when you kind of were like, I don't know if I can do this anymore?
Yeah, I mean, if you have a bad round, I mean, everyone has bad rounds, but if you have a bad round where you're like 80 or something, it's just like, oh, what am I even doing? But then I'm like, okay, well, I can be like mad about it or whatever for like 2 or 3 hours, and then it's like, okay, it's over. Now we move on to get ready for tomorrow. And, then I just feel like, okay, well, I need to regroup and rebuild and get back to practicing and do my whole routine and all this stuff and get ready to go play again tomorrow and go play well tomorrow. So it's just, it was a maturing thing. I mean, obviously when you're younger, it's hard. You're like, oh, I just want to give up sometimes and quit. But then now it's like, okay, well, those rounds happen. So it's just now regroup and go reset and go be ready to take on tomorrow. So that's pretty much how I just try to regroup when, I have a bad day, because those days will happen. So it's just me regrouping and go trying again tomorrow.
Yeah. Staying present, staying in the moment.
It's such good advice. I'm taking that advice because 2 golf rounds ago, I told Max I'm never going to golf again. Done golfing. It's too hard. It's so, being so competitive, right? It's such a technical sport.
Yeah.
And you can't just hop onto the course and think you're going to have an incredible round if you've not practiced nor played that many rounds in your entire life.
Yeah.
But, okay, so take us through. So you're into golf, right? Age 10, super excited about it. What did your high school golf career look like?
Yeah, so my high school career, I mean, I guess I started playing varsity at Minnetonka in 8th grade, but I wasn't on the full lineup, I suppose. I mean, the team was very good, so I went to St. Therese, which was just a private school in Deep Haven. So, but because I was in the Minnetonka district or whatever, I was able to try out. So I played on that team in 8th grade, and then, 9th grade to 12th grade senior year was able to play on varsity, and it was really, really fun, awesome experience. And it was just a bummer my senior year got, had some troubles with COVID, but we had a good team. We didn't play the way we wanted, and our team didn't make it to state, but I was able to make it to state, and I had a lot of great experiences playing for Minnetonka that paved my way. So
They still do that at Bunker Hills.
yeah, Bunker Hills. Yeah,
I can't stand that course.
yeah.
That's where we had sections. I played at Eastview, and that was the same Bunker Hills, and that course just, I don't know.
It doesn't have the most character, so if you're a player, you get bored of it quick.
Yeah.
But it was just there, so you just accept it and go play.
Yep. Play the course.
Yeah.
You're
So, all right. So now you've finished high school, had a pretty good career. What did you get recruited to go play collegiately? Like, how did that experience work for you?
Yeah, I got recruited by a few schools, I guess. But New Mexico was my best offer, so I was like, well, I need to get out of Minnesota if I'm gonna really develop my game like how I want it, at least. I mean, there's obviously great players from Minnesota, and there's a bunch of great players here right now, but it's just me feeling that me being south would lead to me being able to play every day and doing all these great things with my game. So I was like, well, I think I need to go down to New Mexico. And, it was a great spot for me. I didn't think I was going to play immediately, but my game got much better as I got there and the more I practiced, and I was like, well, I can play here every day, so it was great. I made the lineup, and, I was able to just fortunately play in the lineup all 4 years. So
do you have any other teammates that you played college with that are playing pro now?
Yeah, actually, like all of them,
Wow.
pretty much. I mean, a lot of them. Yeah, everyone really wants to be a pro and pro golfer, and it's just it's exciting to see because everyone's got a different path, everyone's finding their own way, and yeah, everyone's just going a different direction with it, which is the cool thing. It's like some guys are in Europe, some guys are here, and it's just cool to see.
How was the golf experience at New Mexico as far as like the facilities and how you guys were treated and like the travel? Because I know sometimes golf probably has a smaller budget than football does and basketball does.
Yeah.
How was the golf experience there?
It was actually great. I mean, our facilities were awesome, top tier, I would say. I mean, the only thing I wish we had better was range balls. We didn't have Pro V1s. We just had Pinnacles, but
You need Lumpy to go get some for you, right? Didn't he used to pick up?
Lumpy to go get
Yeah.
some produce for you.
yeah, not anymore. That was in his junior days, but I wish. Yeah, that's the only thing I wish we had. But everything else we had great facilities, great practice greens, good wedge area, and a huge range that we could hit out of. And we also had an indoor-outdoor facility with bays that kind of went like up and down.
Okay.
So when it got pretty cold, when it would snow in New Mexico, but when it got to like 30 degrees, you wouldn't really want to hit outside because it's probably windy a little bit too.
Right.
Kind of like this, but a little colder. But yeah, the facilities were great, and when we would travel and stuff, the team was really fortunate to get good flights, and we would have to usually go through Phoenix if we were going somewhere a little further away, or Dallas, but the team was really well taken care of and got great apparel, great gear, sponsored by Pinger Titleist, just stuff you probably took for granted then. Now that I'm a pro, it's like, well, you shouldn't take it for granted because everything comes at a price, and you got to build those connections and stuff. So
Yeah.
Any funny stories that come to mind from college golf, whether it was teammates doing something goofy or a travel
I got
experience?
a bunch of funny stories. I mean, one day I went to sleep early, and my roommates were all from Texas, and they wanted to wake me up. Whatever. I probably went to sleep at 9:30 my freshman year, like I always did, and they were sick of it. So one of them started banging on my door with a club, and he put a hole in it. He's banging on it with the 6-degree, put a hole in it, and then, other nights those guys would just probably have a few too many beers or something, and one night they lit my door on fire in the fire alarm.
Were you sleeping again?
Yeah, I was sleeping again. They lit my door on fire. They put like hand sanitizer on my door, and then like lit a match, and then the fire started, and then the fire alarm went off, and
Is this in the dorms or
yeah,
this
it's in the nice like gated community dorms just for kind of athletes or whoever I guess wants to. But those are some of that's one of the crazier stories. I mean, I have a bunch, but that's just from freshman year, and that's one that stands out. I was like, that just really stands out. Something I probably won't forget.
So do you like your sleep? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I like my sleep a lot. It's like now I need to get sleep. I mean, I woke up early today and
What's early
took a nap.
to you?
I woke up at 6:15 today.
Okay.
And then did some stuff, and then I went back to sleep for a little nap before I drove here because I was like, and then I had a Red Bull, make sure I was refreshed. I was like, I can't be too groggy when I'm talking in front of everyone. So yeah.
What is your pre-game routine or
round
game?
Routine?
Golf. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, usually I get to the course like 2 hours early, honestly, and if it's a tour event or wherever, I usually go warm up in my hotel room, or not in the hotel room, hotel gym, or the tour truck. When I was in the tour events playing those, I mean, they had the tour trucks. I was in there with a bunch of guys warming up for like 15, 20 minutes, just rolling out, stretching.
Do you come up with your own routine, or do you work with like a trainer to do that?
I had one from like college, so I kind of just implemented it. I just brought some of those stretches. I just threw out the ones I didn't like, even though they're probably good for me. I threw out the ones I didn't like, and then I just brought in the stuff that I liked. That was like, okay, I'm not going to get sore doing this or, look weird doing this. I was just like, I'll just do what I please now. And then I guess I just did that in the tour truck, and then got on the bike. Just get the juices flowing before the round, before turn around, because, you're going to be feeling it on the first tee, so you got to make sure you're awake. And you don't want to feel tired at all. You need to be really fresh.
Maybe that's my trick.
Yeah, so I'd go do that for 15, 20 minutes, get there 2 hours early, then I'd go eat, take my time, and then...
What would you eat? Do you have a specific meal, or is
No, but the meals out there are really nice. I mean, I probably got a few smoothies. Got a smoothie before the round, and, I'd make sure I don't really like hotel eggs. It's just, they're fake, kind of.
They are bad.
Yeah, they're
horrible.
bad. It's just, I don't know what it feels like. I'm eating like plastic or something.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I just try to eat some eggs, a lot of protein, some bacon, maybe a sandwich, some bread, and put some hot sauce on the eggs maybe if they're actually good eggs, normal eggs. And then I try to have a smoothie before the round, or maybe 2. Just if I had to burn some time, I just have another one, honestly. And then
why not? Right?
Yeah. And then I just go put on my shoes to start. I would just actually work out in my shoes because I wasn't doing anything too intense. So I was just basically just stretching in my golf shoes and stuff. And then I'd make my way out to the range like hour and 5 minutes before my tee time. Then I would go putt, hit, chip, putt. And then just make my way to the tee like 10 minutes before, make sure I'm not late, because that would be, detrimental.
Yeah, what happens if you're late on...
You get like a penalty. I mean, at any tournament, you can't be late. It's like, well, if I'm either coming for something like this or one of those events, I just cannot be late. But if I'm like going to hang out with a buddy, I'm probably going to be 5 minutes late. So that's just, I don't know. Honestly, that's how I roll. Back in college, I couldn't be late for workouts, like first 2 years. Otherwise, you're running ramps, you're running upstairs, you're doing a bunch of stuff you don't want to do. So really taught me, my coach really instilled in me like the timeliness and being responsible and showing up on time. Like even if it meant we were scurrying out of the door and pulling up right on the number or a minute before. Mm-hmm. It's like if you show up like at 6:30 with 6:30 workout, you're considered late. So you got to get there 6:29. It's like, cut it close, too many days, but we got there. But that's pretty much my warm-up routine before a tournament, just getting dialed in and, just make sure I have a fresh state of mind and body feels loose enough, but, that's just pretty much it.
And you played in 2 PGA events this summer. Did those feel any different than any other tournament you played in? Was there a little extra pressure that you felt, getting to the first tee especially to start the tournament?
I mean, at the John Deere, I Monday qualified in, so I had never felt anything like that. And, for me, it was really exciting. I mean, obviously there's other guys that have been in that position and played more events than me, but I was like, well, this week is just about me learning and doing this. So,
because what did you shoot at the Monday qual? Usually you have to
6 under.
Yeah,
and I was in a playoff too, so it's like, I could have went one lower and I wouldn't have had to sweat the playoff, but the playoff was exciting and
good experience.
Yeah, it was a great experience. But then when I get on the range, I actually feel just fine. I'm hitting the ball great, and I'm just minding my own business. Everyone's minding their own business out there because you're playing your game. You can't really worry about what other people are doing, like ever in golf. It's just you and the course. So that's what I was just focusing on. But then when I got to the first tee of the John Deere, it's just like, I was like, I'm starting to feel nervous. I'm starting to feel it. I've never felt this. And then I get over the ball and put my tee in the ground. I was like, oh boy, I can't feel my arms now. And it's just like, I should have hit driver. My dad was like, you should just hit forward off this hole. And I was like, well, why would I do that? And he's like, you say short of the bunkers. And I was like, oof. And I hit the ball so poor. I was so far out on this really short hole. I was like, what am I doing here? And I wish I would have hit driver, but I was able to salvage a par. So,
well, that's good. Yeah, you don't want to start with like a double or something.
Yeah, I know. That would have really. The next hole I made a high number. I was like, here we go. Well, now I'm settled in. But it was a really cool experience, and it was just I'd never felt that before, so it was just cool to be there and really take it in.
And then you got to play at the 3M Open.
Yeah.
And, in your home state, how was that experience? That
was sweet, just to, have all my friends and family here supporting me. It was just, something I really can't take for granted. It's just, not everyone gets that opportunity to come or go play in your home state with home crowds watching you. So it was really cool just to play in that. And the first round was on my birthday too, so that made it that much sweeter.
Back to when your mom brought you, to a golf thing when you were little and you didn't like it.
Cheese,
full circle. PGA Tour
quite the flip in 18 years there.
Yeah, oh, funny.
Yeah.
What made you so? what after, your college years, what made you want to go pro, and like, how does that whole process work?
Well, turning pro, you basically just, just declare you're going to go pro.
Oh,
Yeah. So pretty much
like believing in yourself
Yeah.
that you're like, all right, after this, I'm going to.
Yeah, you basically
Try to
just say,
qualify?
okay, I'm going to go pro, and you're doing a bunch of qualifiers and such, and then you're also doing you're basically doing a bunch of qualifiers, and you'll just sign up for mini tour events to try to gain that experience. So that's what it takes, like right after college. So
Do you know someone who could benefit from this episode? If so, please take the time to share it with them. Whether it's an athlete, a coach, a parent, or just someone who loves inspiring stories, we want to get this message out, and we need you to help make that happen. And you won the Minnesota Am.
Open.
State Open in
State Open.
2024,
yeah.
Okay. And how was that experience? Because what course was that at?
Rush Creek.
Rush Creek. Okay.
Yeah.
And how old were you there?
22.
22.
22. Or week before I turned 22. So
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Around there.
Yeah. But
pretty
it
cool
was
experience.
It was a great experience. I was still an amateur, but it doesn't. I don't really think of it as much of whether I'm amateur or pro. It's just me going and playing. So I wasn't playing like super great leading up to it, but in that final round, I was just able to turn on the jets kind of and just make a bunch of putts and just push the envelope a little bit and do some fun stuff there. And I hadn't really played super well, as I was mentioning before that, so it was just kind of cool to put myself in that position, and then I was able to win in the playoffs, so it was a pretty surreal day.
Yeah. What was your celebration afterwards? What'd you do?
Got drunk. But
Cocktails.
I had a bunch of Guinness. So I was eyeing down the Guinness in there, but that's what I had with my buddies. I put it in the trophy and drank out of the trophy, and then I tried to go practice the next day, and I realized, well, that was pretty inefficient, so I should have just stayed in bed.
Yeah.
or just done that. But I just had like a few buddies in my basement, and we just listened to some music and just good times, play some billiards, and yeah. But that's kind of just celebrate accordingly.
Okay, have you been to Ireland before and had that Guinness out there?
No,
Tastes completely different.
Yeah, I heard it's much smoother and better, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Going over there with my dad and brothers, and hopefully playing the golf over there. And I heard it's pretty sweet. So, and I'm excited to try the Guinness.
Yeah. And so with the In Sports Foundation, we talk a lot about goal setting to the kids that we work with. Usually we have them focus on SMART goals, kind of setting these smaller goals, but as a college athlete, professional athlete, you've got to set big goals for you to get to that point. And looking at your future, 10, 15, 20 years down the road, like what is your big goal in the golf world?
I obviously want to be like a PGA Tour winner, leave a lasting impact, at least play on the tour, and just be known for being a good guy out there, hopefully, and just inspiring other players, because that's what my dad did to me and a bunch of other people in Minnesota and in the U.S., I'd say. So that's something I'd like to do for sure. It's just kind of follow in his footsteps, and I think I'm doing well to start, but I always want to just push myself further. So.
Do you think if you didn't go on that trip with your dad and watch him play, do you think you would be where you're at right now?
Probably not, honestly, but you never really know. But I think that was just the thing that clicked for me.
Yeah.
And just propelled me to go further and, really start working at it. And, it obviously takes time to get to where you want to be. Obviously, if you become a certain level or however good you get, golf, you always want more. So it's like, well, you just have to keep working and pushing yourself. So that really, going on that trip with my dad and my family, watching him at the U.S. Open, that really propelled me to work hard and, see those guys. And now any tour event I go to today or watch on TV, it's just like, okay, well, I can learn something from this guy's game or this guy's game. So,
And it sounds like you're going over to the Asian tour.
Yeah, the final qualifying.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. When does that start?
December 17th.
Okay.
In Thailand, so
Wow.
it's going to be uncharted territory for me.
Is there a lot of Americans that go over there and do that?
I wouldn't say a lot, but there's, I don't know how many, but it's obviously more Asian people than Americans, but there's a fair share, I'd say. But
Do you know
anyone
anybody else
from, yeah,
going
I know a few, one of my old teammates from New Mexico, my freshman year, he made it through too.
Awesome.
And he's going, but he's not. I mean, he's from Venezuela and lives in Spain now, so he's not American. And then I did meet a couple American guys at the last qualifier that are going over there, but it's like, oh, I don't know that many Americans going, but it's like, well, I'm sure I'll find my way when I get over there.
Yeah. And do they do it is it meters out there, not yards, or how do they?
You can buy a yards book, I'm sure, and then
Yeah.
any metric system you want, meters or yards. I mean, when I went to Sweden in September, I was able to get yards and stuff, and it's like, oh, it's totally different. Yeah. You're like walking it off, and they put like spray paint dots out there in the middle of the fairway, and you couldn't use a rangefinder for that qualifier. I was like, oh boy. I was like, well, this is just like a tour event, except it's just like the rain could just wash away these dots. So they got to keep going out there and refining them and fixing them and stuff. So it's like just crazy how golf in another country is just so much different than here. It's like in the U.S., we have it pretty good. So
I got to play in Italy once, and it was like it was all meters, and I was in high school, and it was like I have no idea what I'm supposed to hit right now.
Yeah, it's just a guessing game if you don't know how the meters work. I mean, I was good with meters because Albuquerque's at 5,000 feet, so basically it's just 10%. So I would just play in meters, essentially. So the ball goes so much further there. So that's how I was able to get the hang of meters. But otherwise, like if you're an American, nobody plays in meters. So.
What would you say? What's the best part of your game? Like, what do you feel most confident in?
Probably my chipping. Yeah, my wedge game has gotten much better, but I've always really enjoyed the chipping aspect. It's an opportunity for me if I miss the green to be creative or hit a pretty sick chip. Usually, I just honestly try to make it if it's possible. but I really like chipping, and I also like hitting a bunch of short irons too, and just flighting them in there and doing hitting the shot that may be necessary. So,
what's your best chipping technique that you could share with a very amateur golfer?
I mean, a lot of people think you want to use the bounce of a wedge, which is just basically underneath the leading edge would be here, and the flange the bounce would be under here. And a lot of people think you need to go like this, but if you're just a beginner, it's just good to practice ball first and just hitting it low, and you don't really need to do too many fancy things on your chip shots. Just trying to get it within 10 feet or however.
Or hit it.
Yeah, or just hit it well.
Make contact.
Make contact. Yeah.
If you were to give advice to, especially for Minnesota golfers, because it's a whole nother game, and there's only so much time you can play outdoors, and if you had any advice to give to some aspiring younger Minnesota golfers, what would that advice be?
Yeah. I mean, obviously when I was playing high school, I was like, gosh, I want to get out of Minnesota just because you're hitting in the dome. But I would say even the practice you do in the dome or in an indoor simulator, it all counts. I mean, and it doesn't go to waste. So just know that the practice you're doing is still very useful if you make it intentional. So it doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously it's better to hit off grass, but if you're putting the work indoors, you're gonna be just fine. That's what I'd say.
That's a good plug to try to get a simulator in our house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're already working on that. What do you think, as you now being a professional golfer, right? What do you think golf has taught you?
Golf's taught me that's a game of respect and integrity, and hopefully I can carry myself the way I try to carry myself on the course. I think it helps with my interactions with people. Just try to be a respectful man and just do things the right way, and always try to do the right thing. Actually, it can go vice versa too. Me doing that in life, and then obviously that will translate to the golf course too. Just always just trying to do the right thing, respecting your playing partners, respecting the course. It really taught me a lot growing up, just to try to be like that, especially when I'm on the course. I mean, you can't damage the course or do anything, and I mean, you're going to be frustrated, so it kind of teaches you to mature at sometimes. And hopefully that's what a lot of guys or kids growing up just bring to their life.
Well, Carson, I've got one last question for you. So you've got your dad, your two brothers. You guys have one last course you can play, the four of you. What course would you pick?
I don't know. It'd probably be a special round if we just went out and played Wayzata. I mean, they're redoing it, but we always used to play Wayzata. And, I mean, we could go play any course in the world like that, but if we just went and played our home course Wayzata, it'd be probably special and sentimental to us. So.
That's
Love
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Carson, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. We enjoyed the conversation. And,
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Good luck in Asia and just for your whole golf future. We'll be watching.
Yeah, we'll be
watching out for
supporting
you.
and cheering you on. So.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. It was great joining you guys today.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Athletes in Sports podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and want to hear more from inspiring athletes, we encourage you to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on all of our social media channels.